All right, today we're going to take a look at the top 10 super games that we did way back in the day. This is one of the early lists that I remember from the game trailers days, putting it over there. And this, I think we talk about this in the list, but the long and short of it was the Super Nintendo, Super this, Super that. It's the Super Games list, the games with Super in their title. I'm sure this has changed dramatically over the years. I legitimately have not watched this list, I don't know, maybe a decade, 12, 13, 14, I don't even know how long. I do not know the last time I saw this list. But with that said, I do encourage you to hit the thumbs up on this video right here. And if you're new, subscribe, because I do react to classic ScrewAttack stuff, classic internet stuff. I tell stories about my past and talk about what's going on in the future, as well as play games and kind of walk you through my thoughts of those classics themselves. So with that said, let's get into this. It is the top 10 super games from ScrewAttack. Let's get to 500 thumbs up. Let's go. Here we go. Make sure this volume's up for you guys. Nice and loud.
It seems like game after game after game has the word super in the title. And while sometimes they suck balls, sometimes they're actually pretty, well, super.
We've gone through every...
Oh man, this is definitely old. If Tom's in it, this is 2000. This is definitely 2007. Yes.
Single game in history with super in the title. Every one, and seen which ones truly deserve super in their name.
I know that. I remember writing, it's weird how things come back to you. I remember writing that, and I wanted that to be way more over the top than it is. We've gone through every single super game in existence. Every single one. I don't think it necessarily came off that way, but because it's so much hyperbole, there's no way we went through every single game, but I guess it added credibility to the list.
Given the SNES's infatuation with having super in the title of pretty much every game in its library, chances are you're going to hear a title or two from the old 16-bit greatness.
There you go. That's exactly how we did it. We went to Wikipedia at the time and just looked at all the games with super in the title on the Super Nintendo. Oh, man. Pulling the curtain back a little bit.
So Sony and Microsoft fanboys, save the drama.
There you go.
This is Stuttering Craig.
And Handsome Tom.
For ScrewAttack's Top 10 Super Games.
Look at that graphic. Yeah, buddy. Let's go. Oh, my God. I never noticed this. He has a toothpick in his mouth. That's amazing. I never even noticed that. That's the coolest thing ever. I don't know if there's ever been a video, like a video game that's had a title screen with a toothpick in their mouth outside of this Super Off-Road. This is amazing.
Arcade Super Off-Road was one of the best on the NES. In the arcade, you could only have 3 players. But on the NES, you could have 4, and that wasn't done very often.
You could also power up your car with all sorts of crap to help you dominate. Nitros, tires, engines, everything. And even though it had an absolutely craptastic sequel on the Super Nintendo, Off-Road got bonus points for the use of hot chicks to greet you at the finish line.
Oh, man. A staple of ScrewAttack, hot chicks. I remember playing... A lot of these games were very personal to me, like Super Off-Road. I remember playing that at my buddy Kevin's house growing up. He lived in the same neighborhood as me. He happened to have Super Off-Road, and I thought that was the coolest game in the world. If you ever played Super Off-Road, I mean, it's a perfect arcade game. It is so much fun, and it is the way you were able to put in quarters, and it would just suck your money in exchange for nitros. It was great, man. Pretty good start. Oh, here we go.
SNES's answer to the old school zapper, the Super Scope 6 was an absolute monster.
By monster, you mean grotesquely huge, right?
Yeah, it's pretty damn large.
Now, how are we going to justify this being in the top 10? That really chaps my ass.
It was cool. I mean, just think of it kind of like Wii Sports, except you shoot everything, and there's no sports in it.
Okay. This is very, very like hunky-dory and stupid so far. Like the editing in this is so bad. But you know, different time, right? Man, Super Scope 6, I think we were reaching at that time. I think I had the infatuation with Super Scope 6 more than anybody. I legitimately love Super Scope 6. Now, with that said, I don't even know. I don't even think I can play it now. I need a CRT TV and all that stuff. I think that's one of the sad things about video games as a whole now is that you have certain games that can only be played on certain like realistic. They have to be on CRT. Like anything involving a light gun, You know, talking about like Duck Hunt, or like my kid's never going to play Duck Hunt with the gun. They're never going to play Super Scope 6 with the giant Super Scope. Although I don't have a giant Super Scope. If you own a Super Scope 6 right now in the comments, let me know down below, because I want to give your comment a giant heart. Yeah.
Oh yeah, real
here
game.
we go.
All you need to know about Super C can be answered on the back of the box. After losing a confrontation against Super Commandos, Mad Dog, and Scorpion, the juices of... Hold on, let me keep going.
And I think that's one of the things that people really loved about ScrewAttack, was that we would mess up and everything would be fine, and that we would laugh at whatever it is we were doing. And I think that's important, whether it's ScrewAttack, whether it's whatever, whether you're working in an office job or I'm here talking about you guys. I think it's important that you don't lose your sense of humor in all this stuff, because they're video games. It's not the end of the world, y'all. Like, it's okay to laugh about how stupid things are sometimes.
Juices of destruction drip from the spiked tongue of the vile red falcon. You might as well just leave it like that.
Yes, Super C took everything about Contra and pretty much made it better, while still sticking to what worked the first time. Shirtless men running around in red and blue tights shooting everything.
What the hell happened here with this edit? These are things that like only I noticed right here. Like, once again, we just put like random faces of things in our videos. I think this probably was a Tom edit, but I don't know. But look what happens with this footage, how it kind of zooms out then zooms in. I don't even know what's going on with this.
Sticking to what worked the first time.
Out
Shirtless men running around in red and blue tights shooting everything. Super C is super freaking awesome.
More just random things popping in, because why not?
7.
Yeah, buddy.
Considered by some as the best football game ever made, Tecmo Super Bowl.
Oh, wow. Did you notice that he actually doesn't have a ball in his hand here? Look, watch right here as it goes through. This is pretty good.
A Tecmo Super Bowl
You can
was
see
one
the
of
crowd
first
behind
to
him.
use real names and attributes of real NFL players.
With a cult following on college campuses still to this day, Tecmo Super Bowl was crazy offensive-minded and have badass cutscenes when you did something good.
Notice the audio is only in your left ear for the game. We did not know how to balance audio at the time. Which, by the way, this continues today. The idea of like, they're still updating Super Tecmo Bowl with new rosters and stuff, with ROM hacks, and they're doing tournaments. It's crazy. It's amazing.
Hey, and don't forget about Bo Jackson. I didn't know he was a superhuman robot until after I played this game.
6.
Oh, here we go. Hey, speaking of Super Castlevania, whatever I say here is probably right, but if you want to hear the full adventure, I just did a full playthrough of this game on the channel, which I'm going to be doing more playthroughs of games and such, because that's apparently what you guys want to see. And I like to play video games, like the classics at least. So go watch that. I'll put a link to it right up there for you guys to go check it out after this video is done.
Spectacular. Super Castlevania was and is super in every sense of the word. You can make your whip go limp, move it all around, swing off of things, and even whip up.
The music is some of the best of the era and still stands out in Vania fans as some of the best in the series. It also stayed true to tradition by placing fully cooked entrees in walls as power-ups.
There was no storyline in the game. All you need to know is Simon Belmont was ready to tear Dracula limb from limb.
Just the way we like it.
I don't know. Is there a story? I'm sure somebody will be like, well, actually, Craig, there is a story that encapsulates Simon Belmont. I'm sorry, that's not Simon. It is. I'm sure somebody will do that. And by the way, that was my super geeky guy on Twitter voice. But I don't know. I love that game. I will probably do a playthrough of that game probably every year on this channel. And you know what? It'll be an annual thing, because Super Castlevania is great. I thought it was actually way longer than I thought. I thought it was like 6 hours long. It's only like an hour and a half, 2 hours long if you know what you're doing. Which I know what I'm doing most of the time.
5.
When this game came out, I remember going to the store to check out the video games and seeing a line of people waiting to play this in the demo area. It was absolutely insane.
Super Mario Kart had a ton of imitators, but nobody can challenge Nintendo. Have you ever noticed that in first player, you're always playing in split screen? It's kind of like the DS.
Yes, we know this is not the best Mario Kart, but it is the only Mario Kart with Super in the title, so therefore, on the list.
Ooh, man. Oh, look at that. Look at the caveat we had right there. Put a little asterisk next to it. I'll tell you this. I love Super Mario Kart. You guys know that I'm a Mario Kart battle mode god. If you guys ever want to play me on the Super NES Mini, I will, or whatever it is, the Super NES Online, I will find you, I will destroy you, and I'll make you feel pain in your Super Mario Kart battle mode destruction that I do of you. I'm sorry. It's just the truth. Okay, let's continue. Hey, what the hell is this song? This isn't from the game.
Street Fighter 2 received update after update after update, but by far the best is Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
The Super Bar, air juggling, and Akuma, all things that plowed their way to arcades in this version. Handsome Tom, did you know the full name was actually Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, the Ultimate Championship?
Doesn't Ultimate mean final or last?
I believe so.
Then why the heck did they make one more version?
If only that's where it ended. They had to have made it probably another 5 or 6 versions of Street Fighter 2 after this, right? I very much appreciate when games put Ultimate in their title, when Ultimate does mean last, like the finale, the end. But and then there's always like 2 or 3 sequels afterwards. Oh man, gotta love some Street Fighter 2. Oh man, I'm probably gonna get flagged for some sort of copyright on this. Oh boy.
In what is pretty much equivalent to an all-star game for Nintendo, Melee is a game that both button mashers, you know what I'm talking about, and skilled players can play.
I am a button masher. Absolutely.
Best-selling GameCube game in history had 29 huge levels, tons of characters, updated versions of classic tunes, and more items than you know what to do with.
You know, I hate Pokemon, but when I see a Pokeball in Super Smash Bros., my eyes light up, and I sprint to that Pokeball, and I love every second of it.
You're such a pansy.
Hey, I love to beat some ass, and when Pokeballs do that for me, it's on.
You love those balls, do you?
That was a setup right there. I don't think that was actually scripted, but it was one of those things where you just kind of throw it in at the end and you go, balls, yeah. Because balls are funny, and pansies, and balls, and Pokeballs, and God, it's awesome. And listen, the Pokeball for me will always, like, that's what I equate Pokeballs to, not Pokemon. I equate Pokeballs to Smash Brothers. Love it, love it. Fighting game or not, debate in the comments.
You're probably asking yourself why there hasn't been a Mario game on the list yet. Well, why would you put them all separate when you can put them all in one cartridge? Super Mario All-Stars did that.
Okay, I'm just going to guess Super Metroid is number 1. I wasn't even thinking about this until this popped up, but I'm guessing Super Metroid is number 1, which is a common theme with ScrewAttack back in the day.
It took all the Mario games and gave them an equivalent to a video game boob job and made them better in every way. Also, for the first time, it exposed the US to the Lost Levels, which is the real Super Mario Bros. 2.
The most recognizable franchise in gaming history all in one place? Yeah, it was the
One of the only things that held
I appreciate us editing ourselves back in the day. A quick story after we're done with
this game back was that stupid intro music.
All right. So the music that was used, that dun 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 dun, that brought me back to a video that I don't think exists anymore. One of the first videos I talked about a trip in the origins of ScrewAttack video, the real story of ScrewAttack video. Once again, I'll put a link up here if you guys haven't. There you go, up there. If you guys haven't seen that video, I talk about the trip to Mexico that we took, and that was kind of like a kind of a fork in the road as far as taking ScrewAttack to the next level. One of the first videos that we did there was a guy. We actually weren't in it. It was just a guy creating a piece of glass and turning it into Mario. We paid him like $50, and he made that. And I think Tom took it with him, but it was set to that song. So he's on there, blowing glass and morphing this into a thing of Mario. It was amazing to watch. Like I said, I think that video is just lost to time. It was like 15 frames per second. It was like 45 seconds long. We just sped it all up. But kind of crazy to, like, once again, I'm the only one who would actually know that. Probably me and Tom, and that's it. And but I don't think that video will ever see the light of day because it's probably just lost in the ether of nothing. Probably deleted somewhere on a hard drive.
Quick recap before we get to number 1.
Number 10, Super Off-Road.
Number 9, Super Scope 6.
That's so dumb. Number 8,
At least we
Super
knew
C.
it.
Number 7, Tecmo Super Bowl.
Number 6, Super Castlevania 4.
Super Mario Kart.
Number 4,
I didn't
Super
say
Street
5.
Fighter 2
Ooh.
Turbo.
Number 3, Super Smash Brothers Melee.
Number 2, Super Mario All-Stars Plus Super Mario World.
You know what's? Oh, there we go. You already know it's going to be Super Metroid. What's amazing about this is when we would do these lists, we had a microphone that we held. It was like a Shure SM58. I think I have one back here, but I have one back here behind me. But the long and short of it is like we would hold this microphone and we would just go number 10, number 9, number 8, number 7, passing it back and forth. So I can. That's why that took so long to get through. You can tell. At least I could tell.
It's
I probably talked about that
number
too.
1.
Genius.
Let's see what I say here about Super Metroid that I didn't say in other lists. Probably nothing. It's like, this is really good. Blah, word vomit.
Genius. This game made me want to hump my Super Nintendo hard.
The First Lady of Gaming provided everything a gamer would want in a game. Awesome graphics, sweet gameplay, music, weapons, story, character, controls, replayability. It had the entire package, all in one game.
What's interesting in there, it said the first lady of video games, or first, whatever it said. During a stream the other night, I was actually talking about, we did a back and forth, like a bracket of who of the best Street Fighter characters. And one of the legends, one of the community members in the chat mentioned that Chun-Li was the first lady in gaming. And it was quickly brought up that, no, actually Samus is the first lady in gaming. Samus was, like kind of the first leader of the pack, which is, a lot of people forget about Samus because Metroid is kind of a forgotten about franchise, even though they had the new game in the last couple of years, but just kind of interesting to think about.
If you can find a better game with Super in the title, no, that's impossible. There's no way. Super Metroid is the best Super game ever. End of story.
That's kind of funny because, acknowledging the friends coming out, the pixel coming off the side. This was before the whole save the friends, save the animals thing. That was like kind of a meme with awesome games done quick back in the day.
Possible. There's
kind of interesting to see that acknowledgement that early on.
No way. Super Metroid is the best Super game ever. End of story.
All right, nice. There's the outro. Okay, sounds good. Well, that was fun. That was fun to look at for sure. It's amazing to go back and look at these things, and it puts me in this weird mindset of writing these things down on a piece of, literally just like I have right now. It's weird how this works out. Just a pad or a legal pad that we would write things on, and that's how we write scripts. Now you do it all through Google Docs and everything like that. But and that's way more efficient. But actually getting out a piece of paper and a pen and writing things down, it's crazy to think about how times have changed. Which is with the irony here is that the more things change, the more things stay the same oftentimes. But either way, that is why you're subscribed to this channel, to check out more things like that. So I encourage you, if you want to watch the Castlevania playthrough, I have the video over on the side over there. If you want to watch more reactions to me reacting to classic ScrewAttack and internet and telling stories and stuff, you can do that up here. And I encourage you to subscribe to the channel because that is a wonderful thing. Sounds great. I'll see you guys next time. Remember, new videos all the time here on the channel. Make sure you guys subscribe and have the notification bell turned on so you never miss what's coming out of this sweet, sweet, sweet channel. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.